Next, we got the Infiniti QX50.
Another sedan gone. Yep. I mean, we could just say almost everything about it that we did about the Acura TLX. I mean, it started out real strong and almost as a cult car when it was the G35.
Hmm.
The 35 in the G35 name was for the 3.5 liter Nissan engine, double overhead cam V6, very strong. And then they changed the name to the G37. And then in a move that makes Audi's naming conventions look rational, Infiniti decided to call everything that they made a Q. And I don't think that's entirely what killed the Q50, but it didn't help. So you have basically you have your choice among Qs at an Infiniti dealership. Q50.
An infinite amount of Qs to choose from.
Yep. Q50, there was a Q60, which was basically the two-door version of the Q50. That died a couple of years ago, and then a bunch of QXs, which are, to make things even more confusing, QX in Infiniti speak. That's the sport utility.
Okay, I guess that kind of makes sense.
Well, it actually has a little bit of history behind it because Infiniti's first sport utility was get this right. It was a QX4, and it was supposed to be sort of pronounced Q by 4, like it's a 4x4.
Okay, yeah.
It was a rebadged, like second generation Nissan Pathfinder, but with leather seats and, all sorts of, fancy chrome grille. So the QX4 was the first sport utility. And again, it was pronounced Q by 4. And so the history of the QX as a sport utility, it's at least got a little bit of time behind it.
And then next we got the Infiniti QX55.
Yep, Infiniti started out real strong with its really sporty sport utilities. The first one that was it was almost when you think of, we're going to cross a sports car with a sports utility. That makes people who like sports utilities gag, and it makes people who like sports cars throw up. But the Infiniti FX, it was creditable. It was powerful. It offered either strong V6 or V8 engines. It was based on a rear-wheel drive platform. It had very sharp handling, and yet it had a decent amount of utility to it. They have when they crossbreed stuff, sometimes it goes horribly wrong. To talk about something else from Nissan, the Murano Cross Cabriolet, which is what you get when you cross a convertible with a sport utility. Jeep has been crossing a convertible with a sport utility since World War II, but somehow Nissan just really, really made a horrible job of it. But Infiniti did a very good job initially. Once they started bringing out these sport utilities. But the QX50 and 55 had started to wander off of the path, and they were not as really sharp and focused. First of all, they were based on a front drive platform versus the FX, which was based on a rear drive platform. And, from there, they replaced V6s with turbocharged 4 cylinders with an innovative variable compression ratio engine. Cool stuff, but still, cool stuff doesn't necessarily mean this is a great vehicle. Okay, this is a trick.
Yep, so lastly we got or not lastly, but getting close. We got the Jeep Wagoneer.
It's a trap, or it's a trick. Yep, that they threw in a phony there. The Jeep Wagoneer was like the darling of the swimming pool, both old and new money back in the 80s. You'd have a Mercedes and you'd have a Jeep Grand Wagoneer.
That makes sense.
And this was a body on frame beast with a 360 cubic inch carbureted AMC V8, and it was anything but modern, but it was old style class.
Yeah.
It was the original 4-door sport utility. It was the original, except maybe, I'd have to look, maybe the Suburban, but it was very highly regarded. And so Jeep finally brought out a full-size sport utility in modern times with the Wagoneer. And so they brought it out in two different tiers and two different lengths. So you had the massive Jeep Wagoneer, and then you had the massive plus, an extra foot plus Jeep Wagoneer L.
Oh, okay, I think I remember that.
Then, if if you didn't want to look like a plebeian, that was barely scraping by on your $250,000 a year job, you got the Jeep Grand Wagoneer,
Of
which
course.
brought you up to basically over 100K. And so it's a trim level. So Wagoneer was the base model, which came originally with a Hemi V8. And then the Grand Wagoneer originally came with a bigger Hemi V8. So you got the
Hmm.
5.7 Hemi in the Wagoneer. You got the 6.4 Hemi in the Grand Wagoneer, which, is, you could imagine, had fuel mileage, which evoked the days of the original Grand Wagoneer.
Yeah.
I mean, uh, on paper, the new one got better gas mileage than the original, but not a whole lot.
Hmm. I
Now,
can't remember exactly what mileage I used to get in that Mountaineer, the Mercury
oh yeah,
Mountaineer. I can't. It was like 16 miles per gallon, or maybe sometimes it was like it had a calculator that would go up and
yeah.
down depending on how you're driving, but sometimes it was like 11 miles per gallon or something.
Oh yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah,
That thing was nice, so it makes sense that it was not getting the best mileage. Had like
and
a
and so they've upgraded the power plants to the Wagoneer. Just a
mm,
year or two after it came out, they introduced their new Hurricane six-cylinder. Now I got to watch myself, and everyone else has to watch themselves, because everyone says V6, because that's like, I don't know. It's like V8. I mean, they seem but it's an inline six-cylinder.
oh, okay.
The first one that Chrysler has had really since, I almost said the slant six, but actually Jeep had the high tech 4.2 liter six-cylinder that made its way into the 90s. But this is a completely modern double overhead cam, twin turbocharged six-cylinder
Did
that
we talk
comes.
about this on a previous episode? Or is this
Uh,
another company bringing back the inline six?
no, this is the one. Yeah, this is the one we talked about, and we also, yeah.
Definitely surprised me. I didn't know that was ever a thing, really.
Oh yeah, six cylinders are great because they're smooth. The only problem with them is, well, in front wheel drive cars, there's just not enough room because you got to turn the engine sideways, and then you have these things that are called wheels, and there's no room for them.
Hmm.
And so you have to either put the thing in front of the wheels, which basically makes the thing a lawn dart, or back behind the wheels, which basically means you have a hood that's just as long as like an old Cadillac from the 70s or from the 30s. But now that things are going back to rear wheel drive, we have inline six cylinders coming back because they're great for width. They're great for smoothness. They're really great for emissions and lots of other reasons. And so, but like I said, this is a false flag from Car and Driver saying that this is discontinued, because it is not. The Wagoneer got a mild refresh for 2026, and the Wagoneer name is now dropped.
Okay. Okay.
Instead,
So they got tricked by the name change, probably.
I think they wanted to make the list an even number or something. The Wagoneer is not going anywhere, but instead of the Grand Wagoneer being the top trim level, they're all Grand Wagoneers now.
Okay. Okay. They just like the name then.
Yep. Which at the same time means that now you can buy a Grand Wagoneer for less than a hundred thousand
Yeah, yeah.
dollars,
That's
which you couldn't before.
that's nice. All right, what's next? We get the Karma Rivero. Hopefully I said that right.
I don't think if you wanted to, in any time in the past 2 or 3 years, you could have bought a Karma.
Okay, yeah. That makes
It's just
sense.
that now
I've
it's
never
like more
When was the last
official,
time I
maybe.
heard this?
Yeah.
And then we got the Kia Soul, which we just talked about. That's sad. What? I didn't realize
Yeah.
that
Yep.
happened.
It's really sad because that's a really cool car.
Yeah, they're cute, man.
Oh, now it's on the tip of the tongue, but even though the Kia Soul, yeah, it's kind of like it's been slowly being replaced the whole time. So first of all, Kia Seltos has came out in 2021, and that replaced the Soul as the least expensive sport utility type of vehicle that Kia sold. So the Kia Soul has kind of been stepping on the Kia Seltos has been stepping on the Soul's toes for a little while. And then, of course, you also have the Sportage, the Nero,
Hmm.
and even there's a new K4, which is the car, but there's a new K4 hatchback, which also kind of treads in that same area of being, a utilitarian type of smaller, less expensive vehicle. And so it's really sad, and it's a little confusing to see that the Soul's being discontinued because it had a cool niche. I mean, they had their own mascot. Those hamsters.
Yeah, those are popular.
Yeah, you never see one of those Kia hamsters driving a Kia K5 or a Kia Carnival minivan. Those hamsters were only allowed to drive the little Soul.
Yeah, that was a big ad campaign for sure.
Oh, it was a very good one too. And I
Yeah.
think people actually connected the hamsters with the Soul. I
Mm.
mean, usually you get that much recognizability in an ad campaign. A lot of the time, people don't remember what it's connected to.
Hmm. Yeah, I remember Talking Babies, but I don't remember the company that was for. It's like for some betting trading company or something.
Who knows? Yeah, exactly.
Kia Telluride.
Uh, Kia
Looks like it might be
Telluride,
a pause, they said.
yeah, the Kia Telluride misses a year.
Okay.
So the Kia Telluride is being completely redone, similar to how the Hyundai Palisade was redone. The Telluride and the Palisade are twins between Hyundai and Kia, same parent company.
Hmm.
And Telluride's always been the 500-pound gorilla of the relationship. It's won all the awards. It's gotten the lion's share of the sales. It's the darling.
Hmm.
And whether Hyundai dealerships were mad or whatever, the Palisade got its complete redo first.
Hmm.
And like we've talked before, uh, it's got a smaller V6 now as the main regular engine, but it also has a very powerful 1.6 liter turbocharged four-cylinder hybrid.
Mm.
So, over 300 horsepower in that. So it's got a lot going for it for the new one, and we expect to see the 2027 Telluride after only one model year skip
That makes
come out
sense.
with basically all of the same features and design language changes and everything that the Palisade introduced to us just a few months ago.
That's pretty exciting, yeah, because the Palisade looks great, and obviously
Oh
the
yeah,
reaction has been great. I know it won like a bunch of rewards. I said rewards, but it won a bunch of awards.
yep. The Telluride, lots sport utility of the year, lots of awards.
Mhm. So Lexus RC.
Yep, this is one of those things. It's sad, but then you think about it and you go, well, I wouldn't have bought one, so okay, maybe not that sad. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a cool little car, sporty car. Uh, Basically, think about a Subaru BRZ,
Hmm.
but without a quirky flat engine and with the availability of a six-cylinder and even an eight-cylinder to really make it go.
Dang.
So it's like a severely upmarket, but it was a little compact, great handling, little sports car,
Hmm.
and it just yep,
Looks
sad to
pretty
see it
cute.
go.
How much did it cost?
It started about 46,000.
Okay, yeah, I wouldn't have paid that much for it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then if you don't count the hot rod model, it could go as high as 54.
Okay, yeah.
Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe for more, and drop a comment below. We'd love to hear from you and it really helps out.